What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer Guys back yet again. A little bit more cheap gamer guys today, actually. Talking through Final Fantasy King's Tale. Again, this is kind of continuing the series, talking and showcasing some games again that are free. So pick this one up, found this under top free games as we were cruising through. And interestingly, I didn't pick it for what it actually is, which is the side scroller. Amazingly enough, I know a Final Fantasy side scroller is kind of interesting, but it is free. I've probably got about, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes in it. I'm definitely kind of still working through. The game does a great job of kind of working through the tutorial, kind of as it progresses you through a little bit of the story. So I'm still getting a little bit of my bearings down, but definitely feel like I have a pretty good grasp on the game. So I'm just going to, over the next couple minutes, talk you through the game, give you kind of my impressions, what I like, what I don't like. And honestly, if we are showing it, we're probably recommending it at least to try it out and give it a run for a little bit. And so far, I've been pretty happy with this. I think the one thing that's a little disappointing, I will say up front, which was the question that I had, at least initially and originally, especially with side scrollers. In my opinion, side scrollers always run in the competitive sense, or a cooperative sense rather, and this is not the case, at least that I've seen so far. But it is a good single player. You get a good diverse, honestly, this is a great example here. A lot of diversity for enemies so far. You're going to see the same kind of enemies reappear over and over, but as you move through the different stages, get through the different checkpoints, start to see a little bit more of the story. And the story is honestly, at this point, nothing too crazy, just kind of some blurbs and a few cutscenes intermixed here and there. But it is, for what it is, a side scroller with some good combat. It's pretty good, and it actually introduces some really neat kind of different mechanics as you're seeing here, giving you combat tips for specific types of enemies. I've never faced this enemy before, so hopefully I don't let you down. Just really quick, while I've got this and it's kind of on a pause that I can still show you the screen, there are some abilities, and as any Final Fantasy game would have it, you get some additional help characters, which you have down at the bottom. You see that blinking red bar right there. It says left bumper next to it. That's actually a special ability bar that you will power up and can use once you've gotten an 8-hit combo, which is pretty cool, or at least until you fill it up. It's a little bit more than 8 hits, but it's kind of a combo thing. So as long as you don't get hit and you're dealing out damage, that will fill up. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of your ultimate special ability. And then you actually still have magic. You've got Blizzard and kind of like the Inferno going on right now. And I think I'll actually be able to, as we progress through, cycle through a few different things. Now, the one thing I'll say, having about an hour in, usually with these free-to-play games, or sometimes more referred to kind of pay-to-play, where they have in-app purchase, I haven't seen this at all. I don't honestly know if it's still coming. If any of you have played through it and want to divulge that a little bit or throw it in the comments, let me know. Again, we kind of want to do this series, but I want to give you initial impressions as we kind of play through them. And I have been having a lot of fun play this last little bit and kind of roll through this game. But I really do not know if there is any paid content for you to pick up for this game. To be honest, I'm not sure. It would be awesome if it wasn't, because like I said, it's definitely something different. We always talk about diversity on the channel. Halo Wars, we got Halo, we play Call of Duty, Gears of War, we play some other games, Rocket League. We get a diverse group, but there are some pretty core themes amongst a lot of those games. And having an old school side scroller that actually feels very fluid, has a good targeting system, has good combat mechanics, really is a breath of fresh air. So overall, again, good first impressions. I am enjoying it. It's something I'll work through and continue to play, and we'll definitely update if there's anything post this video that I find out. But right now, let's jump into some gameplay. It's been a lot of me talking, a lot of you watching, not a whole lot going on. So we're going to do shield stun. You have a couple different types of attacks here. which is you have the ability to dodge roll, you have the ability to do a light, a heavy attack, and then a shield bash. So interesting to note. Now you'll see I did get hit there, so I did lose my power meter, but as you see, while I was powering it up, as you get kills and as you work on it, you'll actually be able to pick up and continue to fill the meter. Now, some of these enemies I have faced before, so it's important to note. See me get some of my shield bash in here. You're going to see some very familiar enemies as well. There I just kind of accidentally used one of my abilities with one of the players, one of my help players, which is pretty cool. We're actually going to get some magic. The interesting thing is, again, some of the mechanics for this are really interesting. You can power up your magic. You see that I've got 3 bars there, so I have the capability to really power up and increase how much I am being able to deal with that. This is definitely a new enemy for me here, so trying something else out a little bit different. The dodge roll is one of those really useful mechanics that honestly in side scrollers I'm usually pretty terrible at using. But here we go. As soon as these guys pop up, I'm gonna use the ultimate ability. So this you get, I would say, pretty quickly into the game. You play through a good. I'll take that back. You play through a good portion of what I would consider kind of the tutorial phase before you really start picking up some of the additional powers, some of the magic abilities. You obviously have core attacks, all that stuff that stays. But they'll also talk you through a lot of the different combos. So you can combo, as in a lot of games, you can combo your light and heavy attacks, put additional damage in. You can get, like you see me doing there, Rising Fury is probably one of the best. I faced these guys quite a bit, so I know the shield, multiple shield bash cyclone. I hate to spam some of these attacks, but honestly, that's really the way to kill those guys. But as you guys can see here, 4, 5, 6 different enemy types. These guys are kind of like almost like a mini boss that we have going on here. I'm doing honestly much terribly than I normally do. but yeah, it's a good variety. You can actually combo together and get some interesting, pretty cool little combos going. Especially if you're in, I would say, to side scrollers, or honestly fighting games in general, where you're doing a lot of good, quick, fast button presses. You're going to see that that's definitely going to help you out as well. Guy died. Finish that guy off. Dodge here. Finish this guy off, and there we go. I'm hoping we can use some of the other abilities here. Get a group of enemies going. Not the attacker with access. Crystal use magic and companion attacks to maximum damage. We're gonna do that. Use our companions. It's kind of just, again, an interesting concept. I can swap through. I charge this up as high as I can, so you're gonna be able to actually get in some pretty good damage. You gotta obviously defend the crystal here, but I don't feel like a kick. Who's gonna hit who? Get some special abilities going on. Go. And again, really interesting, pretty fun, just something different. Again, I think the one thing that really attracted me and I've enjoyed about this series is it seems like we actually have the capability to find some different games. And I think that's been the one thing that I've appreciated the most is, sometimes you get a little bored, probably isn't the right word, but I know with me, every once in a while, it's nice to get, something different, something to swap up, what we're playing. And that's definitely the case here. I will say there also are boss fights, or mini boss fights that I've seen. So in this one, you definitely do get a good variety, and the amount of different enemies, I was afraid, especially with it being a free-to-play game, I was concerned with the fact that, we might see too much of the same thing repetitively over and over again. And I've actually been very surprised with what they've been able to bring in. Got multiple different enemies. They're really testing here, and that's been the most refreshing thing, I'll say. Here we go. Okay, so we're just gonna keep rolling through. I don't want to spoil too much of this for you, but I want to give you at least a good sense of how the game works and some different aspects for it. You'll see these little blue orbs dropping. That's to replenish your magic. And then see the apples on the ground here. That's actually what replenishes your health. And honestly, I haven't felt like this has been too difficult, but there are definitely instances where the game does get a little tough as well. So it's interesting. The nice thing is it breaks it up pretty good. You get some good variation in different environments, although they all kind of map a little bit the same. Like I said, I've been very, very pleased with the combat. The story is what it is. It's kind of silly at times, as sometimes Final Fantasy games can be. It's got some quirky lines in it, but it does also has some pretty cool characters in it as well. And I really like the idea of having multiple campaigns or companions going on with different abilities as well. And I think that adds a different layer. And again, here we have even more different enemies. There's Slothima Boy. I'm getting tore up right here. So we're actually going to pause. I don't want to extend this too long, but again, just wanted to do a highlight on some of the different games that we're finding. This one, like I've said, kind of throughout, has been a nice different change of pace, and actually really feels polished from a gameplay mechanic standpoint. I think the only thing missing for me would be the capability to bring, honestly, bring some friends in, bring Sloth in as he's popping up into this game, and be able to play cooperatively. If it had that, there's been some really good side scrollers over the years. I remember playing X-Men back in the day, being one of my favorite. I think again that would be one of the only things that I would like to see from this game. But besides that, as far as the mechanics, the difference in enemies, the fact that it hasn't been very long. I feel like in mostly every stage or after each checkpoint, you're kind of seeing something different. Really keeps the game fresh and keeps it moving along. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'm enjoying it. Get out there. It is for free, so download it. Try it out. Let me know what you think. If you've played through it or you have any tips for anybody playing through it, as always, leave them down in the comments. Love to chat about it. Love to hear what you guys have to say and love to connect with you while we play just a bunch of different games. So continuing kind of the Cheap Gamer Guys series going on, and this is definitely one to add to your summer playlist if you've got some time. So I've been Doc with Average Gamer Guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Check in the next one.